for the past few days, week, etc., I have been away in a domestic abuse shelter, a shelter meant for people fleeing from abusive households for whatever reason, whatever they qualify as that. And I have lived here, for a good solid couple days by this point, and I absolutely hate it because at least before today, was constantly forced to be around people. This room that I'm in right now was with a woman who would, have to go through our room to go out and get stuff, and she was just constantly do it late at night when I would want to be sitting down and on my computer, and it would just distract me, and knowing that there were people outside in the other rooms who could open up the doors also made me really anxious, because late at night someone would just kind of open a crack on our door, and they weren't a member of staff, because staff doesn't stay here in the house, the people stay here in the house, and so they would just open the door late at night. I assume they were going to the bathroom or something, logically, but like, it's creepy to just have someone open a door like that just late at night for no particular reason and just look in. Like, that's the type of thing that keeps you awake at night and keeps you asleep in the daytime when the staff is here, which is what I do anyway. I'm nocturnal, so it doesn't really bother me, but still, it made me really anxious. And when I would have time to eat breakfast, I just would outright not eat breakfast, because everyone would be down there, and I did not want the other people to see me. I did not want to talk to the other people, and so what I would do was I would stay up in upstairs, and I would pretend to be asleep or pretend to have a headache or something, and just not go down and eat, because I did not want to have to interact with the other people. And the next worst thing about this that I've had to deal with is being forced outside, because I don't like going outside at all. Having all the cars around me and being in buildings and just being around other people in big groups, it makes me very anxious, and I don't really like doing it very much. And I've had to do this, I was forced to do this several times by this point, because the rules in this place are, if a parent leaves the building, they have to bring their children, because there's no biological parent to watch them. And so if they leave, everybody leaves. So anytime my mom left, I would have to leave as well. And I hated that, because I would want to be on my computer, I would want to be doing something else, but now I'm just thrusted out into the open, having to deal with this anxiety of needing to do things out in the real world. I don't want to do that. I want to be in my room. And on the bus ride to get to this place in the first place, I had to travel all the way from Oklahoma to Virginia. And the bus was terrible. Like, I had to be on essentially a 3-day trip in terms of buses just to get here. And we had to keep switching buses, because that was the most cost-effective way to getting here, and I just kept switching every single time. I got no sleep during those 3 days, because I had to pay attention to where we were to make sure we were getting off at the right stops, otherwise we would have to pay extra money. And my mom, she wanted to sleep. She was not going to be there to check, and even when she chose to stay up, she forgot where we were a lot of the time. There were 5 different times I had to step in and keep us from getting lost, because she wouldn't know where we were. But I would be paying attention to all that information. I would be there, knowing exactly where to go, and knowing where we were going on the bus at the time, and knowing where to get off. So I was keeping track of all that information, even though I got 0 sleep on the entire ride. That was the thing. And so, like, I had a real rough trip getting here in the first place, and being around all the people on the bus certainly did not help, because I would have to sit up at the front where I felt that there was an exit near, because in situations like this, I don't like being at the back of the bus, because there's not an exit that I can get to, and I feel safer around the bus driver, or just like somewhere where I can see a lot of exits and a lot of different openings, or just available weapons that I can use in case someone were to go haywire. And so I try to find like a very strategic area, especially if I can stay on the outside of the seat. If I'm on the inside of the seat, I will just panic. I could not do well with staying on the inside of the seat, so I had to stay on the outside where I can easily jump up if I needed to. And all these different things were just going through my mind, and it was really a rough trip because of that. Because if you think about the combination of the voices telling you one thing, and of all the stimulation just around you, all the different people, it really makes for a rough ordeal. And so I wasn't the biggest fan of the ride here, but when I finally got here, it was much more calm. It's just that the people here kind of annoyed me. But they all seem to be gone now. The house seems to be rather peaceful. It's only us here. And I seem to be getting this room that belonged to the woman who was originally next to us. So that's good. Privacy. Privacy at last. I can set my computer up in here, just watch shows and, be alone. It's all I ever want. It's all I ever want is alone time, is to sit in my room and do the things that I want to do. Listen to my music, watch my shows, talk to my internet friends. It's all I ever want to do. Don't want to do anything else. That's what makes me happy. That's what makes me feel calm and at peace and safe. And I got a door here, door I can lock, the bed. Everything seems to be comfy. Everything seems to be okay. Only issue is just being forced outside every now and then because of the stupid rules that this place seems to have. I really hate that, but what can you do? At least she doesn't go outside that often, every, once in a while in the month to go get necessities. But other than that, it's mostly quiet around here. Mostly comfy.